the way people search now on Google, like I guess Google is trying to like integrate like AI into the search result, like they were trying to roll out AI mode. I guess it's
Yeah.
actually going to impact how people search nowadays. Now websites will be have to really have to adapt to the way they utilize their keywords and everything, the way they put out their content. They have to be able to now adapt AI now. It's now a must now for ranking.
Yes. Before I answer your question, I can see audio is quite low. Can you please help? Can everybody hear me? I think I'm audible enough. I don't know if there is an issue with the audio. If any other person is please expressing that, you can just do like a thumbs up for me to be able to find a way to adjust this. But at the moment, I'm speaking. Yeah, I'm speaking at the top of my voice. So, yeah, to be able to answer you, Yenka, before we go into today's session, yes, Google 2 weeks ago rolled out like new updates, and it involved like AI search. Some of the conversations around AI and how it will kill Google is the fact that when you use Google, Google gives you like 1 million options. You have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4 till page infinity, right? And what that means is that you have thousands of options to be able to choose from. So your information is not aggregated. So what ChatGPT currently does is, ChatGPT, if you ask ChatGPT which football club is the best in the world, it's going to aggregate everything on the internet and give you just one answer, right? However, if you ask Google, for example, the best football club in the world, or the shoe I should buy when it's raining, it's going to give you thousands of answers just based on the users' search ranking and also their domain authority and all of those other things that affect like SEO implementation. What they've done right now is to also pull a lot of information from the internet, look at the user's domain authority, and just give you one answer. But the one answer is not just a random one answer. So if you live in the UK and you ask the same question, you're probably not going to get the same answer. Some of the answers they will give to you is access to you, quality of usage, especially within your domain. Your previous search history would also influence that result. It's a lot of data that is being gathered. That's, I think, which is the most important thing. It's a lot of data that is being gathered to be able to influence which answer is the best. And how does this affect brand? Brands now need to start incorporating like user learning, data gathering, just beyond the normal keyword research that we are doing when we're now building brands, right? When you are building products. You also need to now localize like a lot of your content. So brands would usually say they want to write about Nigeria, right? However, nowadays, you need to be able to write brands in people's locality, right? Where can I watch football in Guayampa? Where can I watch football in Ikeja? Like all of those are now the kind of content that we should be creating. And we are going to be discussing about this more. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm sure a couple of more people will join. Welcome to the May edition of the Growth Camp. This is a community of marketing professionals. That we do is we bring together experts to be able to share about their learning, their experience, and especially their area of expertise. And people are also able to learn, and they can take some of those decisions that have been made or some of the things they've learned, and they're able to implement it in their day-to-day marketing life. We've been doing this for about 16 months now. No, 18 months actually, which is quite interesting. We started last year, and every month from last year up until now, we've held a session. Last year, we held our first conference. It was called the North Star Conference. It was held in Abuja on the 1st of June. This year, we are hosting another edition on the 16th of August. Promotional material will start rolling out for that. For those who are in Abuja, it's going to be held in Abuja. It's going to be live streamed this time, so other community members outside of Abuja can join live and watch. The theme for this year is called co-creation. And one of the things that we have seen, especially in the last 12 months, is how brands are collaborating, influencers and brands are collaborating, how copywriters are collaborating with AI, how influencers are collaborating. We've seen quite a number of collaboration that has happened within the space, and we want to actually have more conversations about that and how that impact and influence the new marketing landscape. Previously, brands, individuals are just focused on themselves. It's a very dependent community or dependent society, especially with the marketing space. You would not see, now you see brands like Pepsi and Barcelona collaborating. 5 years ago, it was difficult to see how that match. Maybe that is not even a great example because Pepsi is very focused on football. But oh yeah, a great example would be Gucci and Manchester United, right? How how did that combination really align? We are beginning to see like influencers and influencers. You can see like Kai Cenat, Mr. Beast coming together to be able to create like a platform. All of those. I mean, our day-to-day life, how do we collaborate with AI to be able to get better results? So the theme for this year is called co-creation, and we are having awesome lineup of speakers that will be coming to speak at the event. I'm super excited about it. Um, if you can come, it's an exciting time. You can ask anybody who attended last year conference, they will tell you it's probably the best marketing conference they've ever attended. And this year, we really want to take it a notch higher. We want people to experience great learning, great panel session, great keynote speakers, and you know, a lot more awesome experience overall. Without further ado, I want us to jump into today's learning. Is going to be an interesting one. We are still talking about content. This is going to be a very interesting session because particularly I love any conversation that has to do with content. I think we all know that content is the bedrock of marketing, and there is absolutely nothing that we're doing that it is not affected by content. Now, how do we measure content, and how do we amplify it in such a way that we are also able to maximize ROI? And that is what we are going to be talking about today. We have our speaker in the house, Favour, who is going to be speaking on understanding content distribution. How do you create content and you're also able to like exploit across like other channels, right? You write a blog, you turn it into a slider on social media, or you do a podcast, you turn it into a blog. From being a blog, you turn it into a thread on Twitter. From being a thread on Twitter, you turn it into a slider on Instagram, right? You probably turn it into an email. How do you do all of that from just one content? This and many more are some of the things we're going to be having conversations about this evening. Without further ado, please put your hands together for Favour. Thank you so much for coming. The floor is yours.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I am excited to be here. Please let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Just do your thumbs up. Oh, great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Hi again. Yeah, I think I am really, really happy to be here today because I'm just like happy to be in the midst of marketers or any community that has to do with marketing. Marketing is a very, very tedious job, and it's so interesting because I think for many of us, it's something like we love. I think is a dynamic profession. There's a love-hate relationship. I don't know about everyone else, but for me, it's just like a love-hate relationship. I can be like, oh my god. Today I'm like, oh my god, can I get out of here already? And tomorrow I'm like, I really, really do love this job. So that's me every day of my life. So I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much for joining. Let me try sharing my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, sure.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. So our topic today is understanding content distribution, how to amplify your reach and maximize ROI. This topic is so it's so big, but let's try and break it down as much as we can. I think at the end of today's session, there are just like a few things for us to understand. How to build an intentional distribution strategy, how to choose the right channels, how to repurpose content and extend its life use, and how to measure your ROI and improve your results. But first, let's understand the basics. Content distribution. The name is basically there. It's self-explanatory. Content distribution is distributing your content. It's the process of sharing, publishing, and promoting your content across various channels to reach your target audience. So when I tell people I do content marketing, and they're like, "What exactly is content marketing?" I'm like, "It's basically trying to is the like Tammy said earlier, there's no marketing without content. Content is the backbone, the bedrock of marketing. So it is what you present to your audience, what you show to your people. And there's no good marketing without good content distribution. People should be able to see your content. People should be able to know about you. People should be able to get value from your content. And the only way that is possible is when your content distribution is done effectively, when it is done properly. So content distribution is basically how you get your content in front of the right people at the right time and on the right platforms. I'm sure there are times we've seen some content maybe like weeks or months after they have like after we needed them basically. So probably the platform you used was not the platform that you could like easily access the content. So maybe when you needed it, you could not get it in the platform that you needed it at. That is like a problem of content distribution. So understanding why you need to distribute your content effectively will help you like maximize the purpose of your content. So yeah, let's go to the next. So why does content distribution matter? I think this is very important because for some of us, or when I just started marketing, I really did not really bother about content distribution. I was just focused on content creation. Like I was all about creating content. I just want to create content. I want to get out of here. And I think at some point I had like what's it called? An argument with myself or a conflict. I'm like, content distribution, content creation, which is more important? Like creating content is more important than distributing the content, or is distributing the content more important than creating the content? I don't know. I think they are both very, very important. But at the same time, you would not get the most out of your content if it's not distributed properly. So why is it important that we understand distributing content? First of all, it is not about creation, but amplification. There's no point in creating something when people cannot see it. There's no point in putting in all the work, all the effort, all the research that you do or put into creating your content, whatever form, whether blog posts, video content, podcasts, whatever content you're creating. There's no point to it if it's not amplified, if people cannot see it, if it cannot reach the audience. Yeah. And when I was doing research for this topic, I was very, very intrigued. Like this statistic, like 96.55% of content gets zero traffic from Google. This is blog content majorly. And that is very, very intriguing. So it means like just about 3% plus are content that are getting traffic from Google. And I think this is very evident. So if you search for something right now, I think you are most likely going to open the first blog that answers the question. If you do two, you are maybe like stretching. Most times we open the first one and we find our answer, we move on. I think you probably do 2 or 3 if you're like maybe doing very deep research and you're trying to like gather opinions and have an idea of what other people are saying. But I think most people search to just get a straight, immediate answer. So if your content is not like distributed properly, there's a very high chance that it's just there and people are not seeing it. So content distribution matters because people need to see it. So if your content is not getting traffic, so distribution is also important because it bridges the gap between value and visibility. Yeah. So you are creating value. You are doing something that you believe is valuable for your audience, that is valuable for your brand, that is valuable for you to reach your KPIs and to get your product or your services to the audience. How do you not get the audience? How do you get people to see this value that you are making, this value that you are creating? Content distribution is that bridge. It is what helps you say, okay, this is value, and this is how you get your value. Content distribution. Also, proper distribution increases ROI by ensuring more people see, engage, and act on your content. So content distribution is very important. It is very, very important. So it's just not enough for you to create content. It's just not enough for you to do the hard work, for you to stay up and ideate and strategize and just put out something beautiful. Distribution is what helps you, is the next stage, is what helps you like take that beautiful, valuable something you've created and make it important for people to see. Like it's just like, say Larry creates a video skit and it does not post it, or he just leaves it on let's say just leaves it on TikTok. For someone like me, I would never see that because aside work, I have not like been on TikTok in years. Like I'm not active on TikTok. So let's say like makes a skit. I like him, I like his skits. And he posts it on TikTok. I don't know what's going on there. So I would not see it. Probably I would have laughed, like I would have made my evening, but because it was not distributed properly, I would not see that content. So because he like knows that, oh, TikTok is not the only platform, this content can do well on other platforms. Post it on Instagram, on Twitter. I live on Twitter. So post it on Twitter. I see it. Oh my God, Larry has done it again. Oh my God, is this not lawyer? I'm laughing. I'm engaging with the content, and distribution is currently at work. So that's why it is important for us to like emphasize and to place value on content distribution. So how to distribute content. I think we already understand what content is. I don't want to dwell too much on that. We already know content is anything that you create. Content can come in any form. Your blog posts, your podcasts, your YouTube videos, your emails. Content can be anything that you create for your brand or for yourself. As long as it's passing your message, as long as it's helping to sell your product or your services, that is content. So content can be in any form. So how do you distribute this content? I think the first step I want to talk about is that you should know your audience first. So I can't not see the meeting link because I'm like focused on my slides. But if you can still hear me, just give your thumbs up. Let me see. Okay, great. Thank you so much, everyone. If you have any questions, please you can just note them. I'll just come attention to it. But yeah, thank you so much. So the first point I'll talk about is that you should know your audience first. I think this is very important. Very, very important. I know we always talk about this point when we are talking about content, user personnel, know your audience. I know this is a very, very popular factor, but I think it's popular and it's talked about a lot because it is very important. Know your audience, know the people you are creating for, identify who you are trying to reach, what platforms do they spend time on, what content format do they prefer. I just now started, I don't know that I would watch, except I am trying to learn I'm trying to learn something. I want to be good at something. That is when I watch a very long form content, like say a YouTube video that is like 30 minutes long or 40 minutes long or an hour long. I am trying to learn something actively. I want to gain mastery in it. That is when I would sit down. It is rare, but that is when I would sit down to watch a video like that. But if I want to just like, maybe a brand is doing something, they made the content they want me to know about their product or something, and it's 1 hour long. I don't think I would listen to that or I would watch it. So understand the format, understand the audience, understand the platforms that you spend time on, understand the challenges they are facing. I think people would always go for what gives them value. Always. they would always go for what gives them value. People would always pick what they like what would benefit them. Is just natural. I think I was complaining the other day to my friends. I'm like, oh my god, everything is now content, video content, video content, video content. Everything is now content. And we have like multitudes of contents online. Like there's 1,001. If you open your phone right now, just open your phone. There's like 100 things you can do in just 1 minute. Like 100 things. You just have to. Sometimes I'm scrolling on my phone, and I'm like, how did I get here? I opened my phone to do something, and like, how did I get here? Why am I on this page? Why am I looking at this thing? Because it's just so easy to get swayed because there's like 500 things, 1,000 things happening at the same time. So there's a lot of people that is trying, people that are like dragging the attention of your audience at the same time. So, and you share the same audience with a lot of brands, a lot of people, a lot of influencers, a lot of content creators, personal brands even. There are a lot of people that are dragging the attention of your audience. So even if your product is unique, even if maybe you have like maybe 5 competitors in your local market for your brand, there are other things that are still dragging the attention of your audience. Maybe they just got back from work, maybe their friends put out videos on YouTube or posted Instagram reels or photos. Maybe there are just many things they have to engage. So you have to first understand your audience, understand who they are, understand what they would be interested in. I'm a marketer, so I'm quite interested in things that are talking about marketing, interested in trends that are happening around marketing. We're just talking about the new Google AI thing now that just came up. That's something that I am interested in. Oh my god, because it is part of my work. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's about. So that applies to me because I'm a marketer. But before I started doing marketing, that does not concern me. All I know is that I want to open my phone and search for where can I buy rice in Yaba, and I see it come to me, and I go and buy. Finish. I really do not care if Google has changed what they are doing or anything like that. So understanding who I am and what my challenges are or what I am willing to read or engage with is very important. So you should understand your audience. So if you don't understand your audience, it will be difficult to understand the strategies you will use for your distribution. Distribution is actually very simple, but at the same time, you have to understand it for your strategies to be very effective. So again, identify who you are trying to reach, what platforms they spend time on, what formats of content they prefer. And everybody is doing video now. But if you check your audience and see that this audience, they will not watch videos. Video is not their bag. They would watch, but would not necessarily get to them. Don't do videos, write blog posts. Just understand what formats they would engage more with. For instance, you would not run let's say, writers community, a community that strives or that is full of writers, people that writers and readers, and you want to do more video contents are okay, they would work, but based on the kinds of people in that community, they would engage more with written content, because writing is so much different from videos, and the way you would use your words as a writer, it will draw more attention from a reader than when you just use a video. So just understand the audience, understand who you are trying to reach, understand the message you're trying to pass across, and that will help you with your content distribution. So also, based on that, let's understand our distribution channels. We all know that there are 3 distribution channels: your own media, your earned media, and your paid media. So own media is anything that you own, your brand owns, that you own personally. So your website, your blog, your email, your podcast, your YouTube channel, they are all owned media. So anything that you own by yourself that you did not pay for, that you did not have to do outside of your brand resources, that has your brand name on it, that's your own media. And those are distribution channels on their own media. You have your earned media too. We all know that is, so earned media is media that you earn. Like you have done your work as a brand, as a person, and people now see this and people are able to engage or share in that brand identity, that goodwill you have created, and they share your content, they talk about your content, they measure you in their posts, in their content, they do videos about your brand, about your product. That is in media, like you've earned it. And you don't necessarily pay for it. People really talk about your brand, and your brand is like doing the work on its own. Then paid media is ads, sponsored posts, influencers, like this one you pay for it. So it can be on any platform. So these are distribution channels. I think the best distribution channels, the best strategies is a mix of all of them. So you just have to know which would work for the particular content you are posting at that particular time, the particular content you're trying to distribute, and see, oh, how can I use my own media? How can I use my earned media? How can I use my paid media to ensure that I maximize the value of this content in this particular time? So yeah, the best strategy is always like blend all three. So let's break down our channels, channel by channel. Let's break them down. Talking a lot about channels because channels are where your distributions are like platform. Like you cannot do distribution without these channels. So if you're talking about distribution, you have to look at these channels. There are a lot of them. These are just like a few. We have blog, emails, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook groups, paid ads, TikTok. There are just like a lot. I know many people have forgotten about like threads. Like when it came out like a few years ago, like everybody like rushed to open like threads accounts for their brand. I don't know who updated my app like long time ago, but funny enough, there are like still people on threads. Like I saw a post from a friend like yesterday or 2 days ago. They're talking about them being on thread and the content that they put on thread, and I'm like, oh, what's still on thread? Like threads? I have no idea the last time I opened. In fact, I don't have the app on my phone anymore. So there are just like a lot of them. So always understand your audience again, and then understand the platforms where they are situated and how you are trying, the content you are trying to distribute, and why each platform is great for that content. So blog post is best for long form content. If you think you have a very long content that you need to break down, that it's going to be that, you know, that to do justice to this content, we need to break it down. We need to put in a lot of details. We need to do a lot of research and ensure that we take people step by step. I think blog content is like your best platform. So it's best for long form content and it has great SEO value. Blog is still like the best place for to build an SEO brand. So blog content is there. Email. So email has like a very good ROI rate because it's perfect for nurturing your audience, for nurturing your customers. So email gives a more personal touch to your content. So I know like there are other platforms, but most times other platform is just generic. I know email is still generic, but because I'm reading it in my own time, I'm reading it from my inbox, it gives a little bit more personalization to your content. So email is best for nurturing your leads, best for nurturing your audience, your customers, and it's best for building a relationship. So email is there. LinkedIn is best for business to business, B2B. I think everybody's all professional. If you check my LinkedIn page in the past months, I've always been lamenting about how we are so professional on LinkedIn. But yeah, that is the platform. It's just like a business kind of idea. So if you are handling the brand account, LinkedIn is good when you want to reach businesses, when you want to reach professionals. That's your best shot. So if I want to reach people that are like young professionals, I want to reach marketers, I want to reach, you can find them on other platforms, but my best case scenario would always be LinkedIn. I can just go on LinkedIn and search for marketing professionals, and I will see like a lot of professionals. So yeah, LinkedIn is best for that. Then Instagram, we all know Instagram, images, videos, reels, everything. Then I think YouTube is an OG, very, very, very long OG. So evergreen content like SEO value too. You will find them on YouTube. I don't know about so yeah, Facebook groups too. I don't know if many of us still use Facebook. I still use Facebook because I have to because of work. But personally, I still have a personal account that I have to use because of work. But I don't remember the last time I posted anything on Facebook. I am not like very active on Facebook too. And that is like quite interesting because when I open the app, I see that people are still very, very much active on Facebook, and they're like very, very niche communities on Facebook now. If you like open your Facebook account like 10 years ago and you have not opened it in a while, just go and check it out and see that there's like a lot of things happening on Facebook now. And it's a very, very good platform for content distribution if you have not like been using it before or you have not like maximized it already. Like there's a lot you can do with Facebook and Facebook communities. So Facebook groups, your Facebook pages, then your ads. Ads are great for remarketing. So and boosting your post. So this post is doing so great, this post is doing well, and you feel like it has not exactly maximized its potential. You can also like just boost it and do your ads so it can reach more people. Sometimes you just feel like, oh my god, like I think a lot of persons have seen this post already, but we sometimes do not understand how many people or are online at a particular given time. Like there's just a lot of people online. So there's always like a lot more people that your content can reach. So if you can like do that, like boost it with ads, it's quiet. So yeah, another strategy we can use is to repurpose content. So we're talking about distribution strategies now, how to distribute your content. So before distributing, I think you can also like repurpose your content. I think this is very, very interesting for me. I like repurposing content a lot because it's interesting. So yes, repurpose the idea and not the content. So before, when I just started learning about repurposing content, I used to just like the easiest content to repurpose most times is your blog post. You can repurpose other content, but it's just like the most common content to repurpose is blog post. So most times I just like when I just started, I just look at my blog post and just like if I want to do for let's say Instagram, I'll just go turn it into carousel posts. I just maybe I did how to buy. Maybe I wrote for a cooking brand. I did how to cook rice. Step 1, light your stove. Step 2, boil your rice. Step 3, pour water in the pot. I go to my blog, then I do a carousel. Step 1, step 2, step 3, up to step 5, and I post on Instagram. That does not exactly work. That doesn't exactly work for my kind of content. So understanding your platform, understanding your content, understanding your audience is very important when you want to repurpose content. So that's why I put here repurpose the idea and not necessarily the content. So you don't have to like copy and paste what you put on your blog. Okay, the blog is very long. The blog is about 1,000 words. So I want to do for LinkedIn. I just copy the first paragraph on LinkedIn and put it from my blog and put it on LinkedIn. Then I'll add a link to LinkedIn post and say to read the full blog post, go and share the link. That is good, but you can be more. So understand your platform. So for LinkedIn, you are talking about 5 ways to build a brand as a marketer. You've already written a blog post on it and you want to repurpose it for LinkedIn. It's still the same content, but you are not exactly doing a copy and paste kind of thing. You are looking at the idea. What's the idea I'm trying to pass across with this content? and who are my audience, what's the situation like on LinkedIn, and you just do something, just repurpose it, revamp it, the same idea, but into the LinkedIn structure, the LinkedIn framework, and you have like repurposed content there. For Instagram, you can just do a short 30 seconds reel, just talk about it. So even if you are linking back to your original content, your because of the style you are using, the format you're using to repurpose, it gives more credibility, it gives more viability to your content because it is platform specific. Yeah, because it's platform specific, you're able to like put more value. I think one key trick is that your content should be able to stand on its own. So even if I don't go back to your main article, your main blog, or the main content, your repurposed content should be able to give value, should be able to stand on its own. So look at the platform. Your email newsletter is a blog post, but I want to send it to my newsletter people. There should be enough value from that email newsletter that can push me back to the blog post. So based on your content, your platform, and your audience, always look at those three metrics: your content, your platform, your audience. And I always like to ask when I'm working, when I want to start a new content, when I want to start a new project, I always ask, like, what is the goal? I think we should not lose sight of that. What is the goal? Why am I creating this content? Why am I doing this? Why am I making this content? I think that will influence how you create the content and how you distribute the content. So if your goal is to get people to watch your videos, you already know that your distribution is going to be focused on video specific platforms. If your goal is to get people to what's it called? People to sign up for your newsletter, you want to do content that is maybe tinted towards written content, because if you do videos on, let's say, IG, before I would go to your bio to sign up, I probably would have to be very, very invested. But if I have, like, I'm reading something, a blog post, I'm reading like a LinkedIn post, and there's already a link for me to click directly, it's easier for me. But if I'm in a very, very, very fast, I'm just scrolling. So I would not, except I am intentionally looking for you, or your content is so valuable. I feel like I must, because I already feel like I have a lot of newsletters from brands that I am like part of. So I'm not looking to add more. So why would I want to add your brand to the hundreds of newsletters that are sending me letters every day? So you have to know the reason why you're creating your content. Is it educational? Is it for people to convert? Is it for people to buy your products? Is it for people to sign up for your events? Know why, and know the platform that you want to use that for. And I also think it's important for you to put yourself in the shoes of your audience, of your users. When I am creating content, I create as a marketer and I create as a normal everyday person. So I'm like, would I buy this thing if I was not a marketer? I know it's so easy. You know, when you're with a brand or you have a product you are like marketing, it's so easy for you to see the value, the benefit, to be so like consumed by it. But for the regular person, the everyday person, they don't necessarily share your sentiments. You talk about these products every day. Maybe you are selling banana bread. You talk about banana bread every day. That's what you think about. Your leads, your team members, you are doing content, you are doing video, you're writing about banana bread every day. So it's always in your head. But so you probably know the benefits, you probably know why people need it. You probably know why it's interesting, all the nitty-gritties that pertain to that product. But for a regular everyday person, they may not necessarily care about it. So your job is to make them care about it. And it is important for you to understand, oh, as a marketer, this is what I'm looking at. But as a regular person, would they see it the same way? Would they see it from the same lens? So put yourself in the shoes of your consumer. Ask yourself, if this is not my brand, this is not my product, I am just like a regular Twitter user and I see this content, will I engage with it? If your answer is yes, great. But if your answer is no, yes or no, actually, if your answer is yes or no, the next question is, why would I engage with it? That will tell you how to structure your content and how to repurpose your content for that specific platform. So if I see this video on Twitter, will I retweet? Will I quote it? Will I tag my friends to it? Will I laugh? Will I engage? Will I like it? If you say what yes, why would you? That why would help you. If you say no, why would I not? Is it too boring? Does it not concern me? What exactly is the reason I would not engage with this content? If your answer is just the answer to that question will help you structure how you post it on that particular platform. So always put yourself in the shoes of your users and your audience. So yeah, repurpose content. Then the next strategy is to use SEO as a distribution tool. I know we've talked about SEO a lot. SEO is search engine optimization. So basically for people that are searching, looking for things to find you when they are searching for things. The most popular form of SEO platform is Google search engine. But apart from Google search engine, I know you can use SEO for your blogs. You should also like utilize SEO on your other platforms. Your Instagram, LinkedIn, your website, like everything you're doing content on YouTube, use your keywords. Like when people are searching for something, I'll use a very popular example. I don't know if it was it this year? I don't think it's this year. I think it was last year. If you are on Twitter, I think many of us know Okoyemi, the food critic guy. So it's a good example of a personal brand that uses SEO. If you go on all these platforms, you would see biggest food critic in Africa, food critic. Like he uses keywords that are specific to what he does as a brand. So when you search for him, or when you not for him, when you search for food critic, biggest food critic in Africa, in Nigeria, it comes up on most platforms. That's because he has like used SEO in all his content as his distribution tool. So people search for food critic, even if they are like other. I'm not disputing the fact that whether it's big or not. I'm just saying what he does. So even if there are other like food critics, maybe they're as good as him or are not as good as him, they're bigger than him or not, we don't see them. So if I think of food critic, he's the first person that comes to my mind because when I search for food critic, he's the first person that pops up on most of the platform, especially Google, YouTube. Just check it out. So your other platform, blog posts are important. You should optimize your blog content for SEO, but other platforms are also very important. YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, like always. Like I think many of us, like I think some days ago I was editing a video and I needed to understand how to. It was a new industry. I've not edited that kind of video before, so I needed to understand how I wanted my video to go, and I needed to see how other people have done it before. I just went on TikTok and I put in the keywords like, oh, how to do this, and I saw like hundreds of videos come up. I was not looking for a particular brand. I was not looking for a particular content creator. I just wanted to see how people in that niche edit videos. And I just put in the keywords and I got like hundreds of videos. So the people that came up are people that use those keywords in their like processes, in their content. So if they did not use those keywords, like they will not come up when I search for that. So I did not necessarily have to know about them. If I thought the people I use or that I watched their videos, I did not know of them before then. So yeah, so use your keywords in other like on other platforms. It's good for your blog posts. Optimize your blog posts for your video descriptions or social media captions. Your content itself, like use your SEO very well. And yeah, you can also, if you're writing for blog posts, written content, ensure that you build long tail keywords. It helps you rank better. So Google does a thing. I know SEO game is changing right now. We're not talking on SEO. I know the SEO landscape is changing because of all the new changes and AI and everything. But while we are still trying to incorporate all the new terms and the new strategies that are coming up, we also need to understand that what we are doing right now, SEO is very slow burn kind of thing. So it's a step-by-step thing. You have to build your domain authority. You have to become, Google has to know you, has to be aware of your brand and what it does. So if for a new brand, you're just starting out, the first thing you should be doing is not to start dragging popular keywords with big brands and big organizations. You want to you have to start small, focus on localized keywords, focus on long tail keyword, focus on keywords that are easier for you to rank. Then you build your domain authority from there, and you can start like optimizing your content for larger, bigger keywords at the end of the day. And SEO is very slow. You build it over time, it takes time. And but just understand your audience, look at what they are searching for. Think, what would this person likes to work all day. This person is a freelancer. Okay, let's say this person is a freelancer. They stay at home most days. So what would they likely be searching for? Oh, national grid is bad. National grid is bad. What would a freelancer search for? Workspaces, cheap workspaces, affordable workspaces. So what products am I selling that will be beneficial to this person? So just understand the audience. Think, what would they be searching for? Cheapest ride to this workspace in Ikeja. Like, use keywords like that. So use internal linkings, use content clusters, use a content topic I feel like I have value to give. What can I do with that? Yeah, so use SEO as a distribution tool. Then use influencers, communities, and partnership. Dami was talking about the conference that is coming up in August and about co-creating. Yes, I think we are moving into a time where marketers are collaborating and doing partnerships. You don't necessarily have to do it alone. You cannot do it alone. Actually, doing it alone is hard work. So depending on your brand and the budgets that you have, try as much as possible to do it with other people. Use micro influencers if your brand has budget for it. You don't have to be big influencers. You don't have to use you don't have to use Kiki, you don't have to use very big influencers. Your friends that have very high followers, or maybe 1K followers, 2K followers, and you see that they can deliver value based on your products, their audience fits with your audience, just share with them. They can even do it for you for free to partner with your brand. So just search across. You can use followers, people that you trust and people that can like deliver value for your product. Share your content in relevant communities. You're part of Slack communities. Look at communities that have shared interests with your audience. Reach out to them. I think the highest you can get actually is no. You submit your brand proposition. This is what I have in mind. This is what your community members have to benefit, and collaborate with them. There are some you don't even need to, like, there are some that give space for you to share your products or anything that you have. You can share it with WhatsApp and Facebook communities. Like I said, Facebook have very, very niche and interesting communities. So open Facebook if you don't have Facebook. Share your content in Facebook communities. Like, you never know who would see it and who will need it, and you don't know who will convert from this community. So share your content as much as possible with communities. Then do co-marketing. Acrid is like a marketing platform. So we have like other marketers. So you should be friendly with other marketers. You have a product, or you have a friend, or you know a brand that has a shared audience with you. You people don't have the same product, so you don't necessarily like have a conflict of interest. And their audience you can get like good value from their audience. Meet them and see how you can collaborate and do content together, interviews, podcasts, partnerships. Just do something. Leverage other people's audiences. People have built audiences. If you're able to show them the value they can get from you and you can get from them, you can leverage their audiences and do something with communities and with partnerships. So you can do that. And yeah, so tracking the right metrics. I said that if you can't measure it, you don't necessarily know how you can improve it. When I just started writing, I started marketing as an SEO. I did a lot of blog posts. So I did not necessarily, because I worked with a team. So I was like under like a team lead. So the traffic and the measurements and everything was not necessarily, I do see it like at the end of the month, at the end of the week, but I was not actively tracking. So I could not necessarily say, oh, I'm writing this keyword did not do so well. So how do I optimize this other content to make it better? I was just writing how to do this, how to do this, why you need this, why you need that, why you need this. I was just writing. So if you cannot track, you don't necessarily know how to improve. So when you see your metrics, when you see your impressions, your open rates, when you see your click-through rate, when you see how many people you are able to convert from that content, you can say, this did not do so well. What can I do to make it better? Or, oh, this is actually doing so well. This platform is doing so well. So what content like this can I do to make it better? So check through your various platforms, websites, social media, emails, your ads, and see my metrics. How can I improve on this on thing? So sometimes your metrics will give you will point in a different direction. So your metrics always very important. It points in a different direction. Maybe your goal was to convert, but you're not converting, you're always getting impression. Many people viewed it, but they did not convert. It's telling you something okay, maybe is it a platform? Maybe this platform was not great for this content. So should I try another platform and see if people convert from this platform? If people convert from there, okay, this content is great, but this platform is not necessarily good for it. So if I create a content like this is a platform that it will work better on. So understanding your metrics, tracking your metrics helps you understand the platforms and their growth and how your content does well on them. So yeah, track your metrics, check the platform that your content is doing well on, and see how you can optimize your content for each platform. I think yeah, the next I think this is the last, is to build a distribution workflow. So I think this is a simple step-by-step guide. Plan your content with distribution in mind. So the first thing you should do when you are creating your content, I think the first, I mentioned somewhere that you should understand your goal. Why am I creating this content? Why exactly? If you know why you're creating this content, if you know what your KPIs are, what do I aim to achieve with this content, it will influence how you create the content, and it will influence how you distribute the content. So plan your content with distribution in mind. It's not after you have created the content, you not say, what platform with this content do well on? It's already, I won't say too late, because there's no way, if you something that you cannot necessarily edit easily, it limits you. So understand your content plan your content with distribution in mind. So as you have created your content, this is the platform I want to put it on. So YouTube, this is why I need to do it like this, because it's on YouTube. TikTok, this is why I need to use this sound. This is why I need to use this trend. This is why I need to use this slangs, because it's going on YouTube. LinkedIn, this is why I need to do it like this. So because you have a platform distribution plan in mind, it helps you create a better content. It helps your content to do better. So schedule your posts on multiple channels. I know posting on a lot of channels is can be a lot of work sometimes. So if you can, I think there are a couple of platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, that you can schedule your posts. Schedule your posts if you can on these channels and monitor and see how they are doing. Then repurpose across formats. So you don't necessarily have to repurpose in one format. Say you do a written content, it does not mean that when you're repurposing on other platforms that it has to be written on all platforms. You did written blog posts, it can be written on email, because it's email. You can go to Instagram and say, okay, I want to do a 30 seconds reel. It can be written on LinkedIn. But say, okay, let me try experimenting with videos. You can put a short 30 seconds video on LinkedIn. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the same format on all platforms. If you do a video content, you can decide to just do a short 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps from it, and put it on your blog, your website, and put it on LinkedIn. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on one format. Then, if you have the budget for it, run ads, boost your best performance, and see how far you can go, and see how much people you can reach, how much more you can engage, other people can engage with it. Then engage and reshare. When people engage with your content, community building, make sure you engage, make sure you reshare, make sure you tell them that you see them, engage actively with your audience. When people engage with your content, engage with them back. That's how people get interested in your brands, because there's a lot of things happening at the same time. So when people see that they are saying that whatever they're putting out is being appreciated, they're incentivized to share more, to engage more. So do that. Then yes, review your analytics weekly. I know we do reports, most of us monthly. Most the normal reports time is monthly. So do your reports monthly, but also like before monthly reports, review your analytics weekly. Like see all the content I put out this week. How did they do? How did they perform? What can I improve on for next week? So when you're checking it weekly, it's easier for you to understand your reports by the end of the month, and you can like edit and you can like optimize and you can like do a better content. To optimize your next cycle based on your data, based on your metrics, based on your data that you've gotten for your analytics, see how it can be better. I think the key to content distribution is to be consistent. You don't just do it for 2 weeks and say, oh my God, it's not working, and you give up. It's not like that. You have to be consistent. You have to understand the platform. You have to be consistent. You have to put in like the work. Yeah. So that's it. Your content deserves more. Your content deserves to be seen. Your content is valuable. So if you are putting so much work, like just ensure that people are seeing it. It's not enough to create great content. It's very important that people see the content that you create. I know there are times when we have seen some very, very good content and be like, why have I not seen this before? Where has this content been? It's because probably that person did not like putting um so much work in distributing their content across platforms. So your content deserves to be seen. So amplify it, repurpose it, measure it, optimize it, and repeat. I think content distribution, content creation is a series of repetition. It's quite boring, but it also gets interesting at some point. It's just repeating and optimizing. As you keep repeating, you keep seeing ways that it can be better. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much, everyone, for thank you so
Thank
much.
you for joining together for Favour. This was definitely a very interesting conversation. Thank you so much, Favour. There was so much to learn, so much to unpack. I personally believe that content distribution is one of the ways that businesses can scale. As an individual, when I started, I was just focused on creating content and just putting it on one channel. But I began to see the power of writing the blogs. I'll give a practical example. I lead developer session in my organization, and right now we just create the content I will put on YouTube, right? And it was a couple of weeks ago I was thinking about it. Why don't I change this blog and turn it into a blog post? By the way, there is literally an AI tool where if you copy a what's it called? You copy a YouTube video, you paste it, you paste the link on this AI tool, it automatically transcribe every of the
Yeah,
content.
it's very recent
You
content.
pick up that content and you now tell the same AI to convert it into a Substack blog,
Yeah,
right? Then that way you have a blog. You can go further and prompt the AI to convert this into a Twitter thread. It's going to give you 10 series of conversation that has been had on that. So you also tell to create social media content out of the entire conversation, and it's able to create enough social media content. You can also take that video, and I'm using video as an example, you put it on a platform. The name of the platform is called is it QUX.xyz? When you put it there, it's going to create like small chunk of the information, like 1 minute, 40
yeah,
second clip of the most interesting part of the conversation that was had in that entire long form content. I can create like 8 for you. And all of these tools are for free. And that is why I think it is so important that as much as you want to work hard, this is the age where you work smart in terms of content distribution. Like all of these things would usually take you 2 or 3 days to do. But now it can actually take you just 30 minutes and you're done. Like
yeah.
30 minutes of sitting down, you can create content and you distribute it across every platform as much as you want. And it all stems from just the original content. In this case, is a video content. And from that, you can even, if it's a blog, an AI tool can convert it to a video script for you where you get to record and all of those things. So I'm super excited that we had this conversation today. I can see that a couple of people have questions. Yinka, your hand is up, so please go ahead and ask a question.
All right, thank you once again, Miss Favor. And my question is like, Like, how do you prioritize which channel to distribute content when your budget, and when your budget is like, when you don't have a good budget or resources are limited?
Okay. So that's why the first thing you should know is understanding your audience. So when you know your audience, you know the platform that they are on. So if your audience is like marketing professionals, for example, I think you would find most professionals on LinkedIn. So you know that your content is first focused on this platform. So you are putting like where the most conversion will come from. You're focusing on that platform. Then from there, you now distribute to other platforms. So just understand the audience and the platform first. So let's say you have like 5 platforms you can distribute your content to, and you have budget for just 2. Take the two platforms that have like the best conversion rates for your audience and focus on them. Then you can distribute to like other platforms from there. So understand the audience, understand the platform that will work best for your audience and for that content in particular. So your distribution is content specific and audience specific. I hope that answers the question.
All right, thanks. Okay, like, sorry, how can you turn like a long form video into like a short, let's say for like Instagram reels or YouTube shorts? How will you turn like a long form video into that?
Okay, yeah. I think we just mentioned this like a while ago. There are tools like AI tools now you can use. You can just upload the video and they would bring out short clips for you. If you don't want to do that, like if you already have a long form video like a YouTube video, I'm sure somebody edited it. You can ask them to like you can watch it and like based on this video, what parts depend on also know, like I always say, like know the goal, know why you want to repurpose that content or distribute that content. So if the goal is to tell people to watch it, you have seen very short form videos on Instagram reels, on TikTok, and they're just like on Twitter even. They're just like tidbits, like very, very interesting parts of the conversation where people are interested, like, oh my god, I want to distribute this content. What's the purpose? So it will tell you the part of the video that that you have to like distribute. So if somebody edited it, tell them to cut out a part, use AI to help you. So yeah. Did you get that? I hope that answered your question, Yinka. Oh, thank you so much. Does anyone else have any other question? Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Favour. Thank you so much for coming. We absolutely appreciate you. I'm sure we had a very great session today. Thanks for that, Favour. We're looking forward to the next one. Next growth camp session is going to be happening next month. If you're not following us on